So, PoE 2 updated.
You're a week and a half late.
It took a while to get this video done because I got distracted watching this cat react to this guy, watching these two bitch about live streamers being angry. Oh, the irony, am I right? Torse though, huh? Anyways, let me throw my hat into this who cares, didn't ask opinion ring. I'm sure you all know that PoE 2 just got its second major update last weekend. 0.3 shows a lot of promise, but there are also a lot of problems. I wanted to cover every issue I had, but I also don't really like complaining without adding any meaningful input. So for each critique I have for the game right now, I will also add a possible solution to each problem. Let's get started. A few months ago, I went to a Dance Gavin Dance concert. It took roughly 2 hours to get there, 2 hours to drive back, and another 2 hours standing in line. Was the concert fun? Hell yeah, I had a great time. Was it worth going through all that again? No, not for me personally. And that's how I feel about the story right now. The story is enjoyable, but not enough to willingly re-roll another character and do that multiple times every season. For a slightly above average gamer, you can expect to take about 20 to 30 hours in-game just to make it to the endgame. I'm basing that on my own experience. Look man, I get it. I get some of y'all are beating the campaign in much less time. Most gamers aren't you though. I would consider myself slightly above average at best. Like, for example, if we were to put it into like league rank terms, I would say I'm like a high gold player at best. I'm not no Ben, I'm not no Jungrone, and I'm still the fastest player in my friend group. 20 to 30 hours is fine once a season, but it really hinders re-rolling or trying new builds. Even though I have a lot of ideas for builds I would like to try, I can't be bothered to spend another weekend just to get one more character to the endgame. Just look at all my past characters. I usually can't get past Act 3 before I give up and go to some different game. The second part of this problem is that for such a long campaign, the endgame feels like it's much shorter. Technically, it's infinite, but there doesn't really feel like there's a goal. Get all the Atlas points? I mean, I guess. That doesn't really last long though. A solution for re-rolling with such an extensive story would be to be able to unlock a campaign bypass through endgame completion. You conveniently have each endgame content section separated on the Atlas skill tree. Maybe add a character campaign bypass for each one of these trees you max out. That would give players about, 6 rerolls a league to try new things, and it would require them to actually play the endgame in order to unlock them in the first place. That character would only have to go back to complete their ascendancies and to accept the rewards for any quests that have multiple choices for their rewards. Upon first getting to the endgame, Doriani explains everything to you. Go here, do this, etc, etc, etc. And that's great, it honestly helped out a lot. The thing is, that's only really for the first 3 to 4 tiers of maps. After that, you're on your own. For the most part, that's fine. But the fact that I did not find my second set of corruption until I was already in red maps might kinda be a little bit of a problem. At the time of recording this, I have already completed the full points of 2 of the endgame contents, and I still have not completed the corruption quest, let alone see any citadels on my map. The most straightforward and simple solution of this would be to maybe have an item that you can find in maps that when you activate it, it'll show you a path to the next nearest main objective, that being either a corruption or a citadel. Having the beams in the fog to let you know where they're at is great, but if none of them are spawning on your map because either you haven't finished an objective to unlock it in the first place, or that there's just not any within your range, having something like an item or even something that you can hover on the atlas to say, hey, maybe go in this direction would be great. The more maps you do, the bigger the atlas. The more scrolling, the more lost you can become. Self-made pins of topics of interest are a great start, but it's already feeling like a chore for me to find the next place to go, and I often find myself overwhelmed trying to figure out what I want to do. They say the hideout is lava, and that's true, but the Atlas even more so. Also, even if you get past that point and you're in the endgame where you're really just farming currency, farm, You are always looking for places with towers that are overlapping each other, just like the old school Atlas on PoE 1, where you'd try to get sextants to overlap and farm those maps. Personally, I don't really mind the concept of the towers, but I wish I didn't feel the need to have multiple towers overlapping. Instead, I think the map should be a little bit more condensed, and then have towers that don't overlap. In exchange, those towers' tablets would be much stronger. Another solution to the never-ending scrolling problem might be that you should be able to reset the Atlas after killing the Arbiter of Ash. But what about all your tower investment before that point? Well, you can make it so that the players can choose when they reset after they got the point reward. That way, they can hit up all the maps in their tower range that they want and then reset it if they want to. All builds are viable.
On Witch Hunter.
Some are just far more viable than others. This league, I had no idea what I was going to start, so I spun a wheel on stream.
Oh, just a little bit more, please.
Warbringer, sick.
Warbringer.
Going mortar, ballista, grenades, spam homebrew ended up being alright. I cleared most of the endgame stuff in the first weekend, even with the totems nerfed or broken, but holy hell was it a struggle to get it going. My friend, playing Deadeye, was able to do the same content I was doing, but 3 times faster. I never really understood, as a player, how big of a deal move speed was until this league. Damage isn't really the problem. So you take a look at this side by side. On the left is my homebrew build, and on the right is my friend's Deadeye build. The damage isn't really a problem, like I said. It's the fact that in the time that I clear 1 map, he clears 3 maps. That's where the problem is. The row amount is insanely busted in this game. If you don't have a class that can use the Roa, why are you even playing the game? That's at least how it feels. Solution 1 would be to have each other archetype have their own version of a mount. Please don't try to bring up teleport or shield charge. You all know that those pale in comparison to the Roa. The second solution is something way more straightforward, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it.
How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game? I'm so sick of this fucking company. They're trash! Fix the game!
Fix the game! We traded Lightning Spear for Lightning Arrow. Wow, amazing! A single skill for a single Ascendancy makes up 40% of the player base in the first weekend. For reference, PoE 1's Mercenary League, Volcanic Snaking was only 26%. While it's not entirely a fair comparison for a 12-year-old game to a 1-year-old game, going over 30% in either game is unacceptable.
Oh boy. Sprint's existence just instantly increased the playability of this game by like at least 45%.
Why do I stutter step walking over a pebble? Why do I have an inertia animation for stopping, but rolling directly into an attack is okay? Look, I love the concept of sprint. The concept is genius, but the execution is lackluster. The bones are there, but sprint still needs some tweaks. I'm perfectly fine getting stunned if I get hit while running, but stumbling because I stopped sprinting or because I lightly tapped a wall is really annoying. Get rid of those. Also, make the turning a little bit better. Just a little bit, please. I'm tired of trying to Tokyo drift around a corner. And as far as complaints go, that's about all I have. What do you think? You got other things you want to complain about? You think I'm totally wrong and that I'm just a filthy tourist? Well, you're not wrong. Usually I only play for the first 2 weekends every wipe, but if you do have anything you want to say, leave a comment down below. Regardless if you liked it or hated it, thumbs up or thumbs down, I appreciate you coming to watch it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it a lot. Our next PoE related video is going to be the build diary of the past week and a half, and then there will probably be a few more shorts related to endgame tips, tricks, and small things for newer players. Anyways, time to go. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. See you guys later. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.